All done in there? Was hoping we could chat. Hope that little dust up back there didn't put you off. My contract had me caged, and I was glad to get a few licks in during the jailbreak. Got a proposition. Since I'm newly free-ranged, and you're free-ranged yourself, thinking we ought to team up. You're going places. I want to go too. If you help me fix my graft, you'll retain the services of a fully functioning enhanced soldier. Me. Don't matter what you set your mind to, together we'll be unstoppable. And in time, maybe I'll have earned myself the clout to be welcomed back into Auntie's Choice. I can be on my own for a time, but I'd rather it not be permanent. Besides, where else can I turn from nothing to something? I did, but I can't expect someone else to foot the bill if there's no guaranteed treatment will work. So I'll take on the risk myself. A go-getter attitude's always rewarded. I get it. You're skeptical. If you got more questions, go on and ask them. You'll not find me hiding anything in the fine print. Had a feeling you knew a good offer when you seen it. Once I'm in top form, you'll be pleasantly surprised to see what I'm capable of. Just gotta find out how to get there first. Doc Tinsley worked with grafts for some time before she came to Fairfield. Damn fine scientist. Reckon we should visit her lab at the edge of town to see if she's got ideas for us.
This much of a crowd's not likely to keep a low profile. Someone ought to head back to mine the ship.
Acknowledged.
After you. Appreciate you agreeing to help, but the arm's itching something fierce. Ready to do away with it. We ought to head to Doc Tinsley's, quickly if we can. Anyhow, was there something you needed, Commander? How personal are we talking? Couldn't say. I was in it all of 2 days before my graft started festering. Before that, I was an infantry medic. Our platoon was one of the first to touch down in Arcadia. I would have continued serving on the front line in an upgraded capacity, but, well, once the state of my graft became apparent, it was decided that parting ways would be best. We're among the most valuable targets on the battlefield. If we go down, our entire platoon's at risk. But boosting our constitution, making us stronger, making the enemy soil themselves at the thought of enraging us, there's a lot to be gained there. Well, yeah, there's that. Look, I knew dismissal was a possibility when I volunteered for the procedure. A successful graft is a boon, a failed one is a colossal liability. I'm a walking lesson in breakage. That's a nice sentiment. Did you pull it directly from a children's serial? Sorry. It's just increasingly clear you've not had many dealings with the corporation or its leaders. This is the way of things in Auntie's Choice. If you can't prove your worth, you're left behind. And that's why I'm here, trying to play catch-up. I miss my platoon, most of the time. I hope they're holding on okay wherever they are. Huh. If nothing else, they'll have Ortiz to keep up morale. I know the non-stop jokes from that bastard sustained me for weeks. Yeah, he's tough. He'll be all right. Of course I do. Can't help but wonder if I'm missed in return. Anyhow, I would rather return to the matter at hand. No use dwelling on those out of sight and out of mind. Right. Like ain't the word I'd use, even before I was itching to tear up my contract and set it aflame. Auntie gave me autonomy, gave me the choice to do more than just struggle to survive. They treated me better than my last employers did, and despite recent events, I believe in their mission. We can give folk here in Arcadia a better life. What, did you think I was born into it? How else do you grow a corporation to this size without doing outside recruiting? Take a look at what most systems offer, and what Auntie's Choice provides. Do the math. I'm just one of many who welcomed the chance to enlist with open arms. Of course, going from a life lived in squalor to one that rewards you on merit, It would send anyone's mind spinning. Now, do I got qualms with Auntie? Sure. But I'll tell you what, when she overthrew those Spacer's Choice bastards in Tau Ceti, my home system, that takeover was the best thing that ever happened to us, even if it took time to see it. But I reckon that's a tale for another day. That all you wanted to discuss, or... Fine by me? Well, like I said, we were both in the same unit. Me as a combat medic, him as a machine gunner. Everyone in my unit was from Tau Ceti, so we already had that in common. And we served on the front lines, which made us look out for one another that much more. See, most of us were laborers, and we just got our first real shot at something greater. We wanted to make a name for ourselves, and what better way to do that than become a hero? Our onboarders promised that if we demonstrated exceptionalism, showed initiative, that we'd get promoted quick, and our days of living in squalor would be far behind us. It ain't like they forced us to join up. We did that on our own, and it said in our contract that they could send us wherever we were needed. Can't complain if where we're needed is in a trench staring down the barrels of a minigun. All right. We spent a week crouched in the same foxhole under aerial bombardment. Shared water one sip at a time by the end of it. Anyone would have been friends after that. I don't know if I would have made it out alive without him. Maybe I'll tell him that over a beer one day. Praise him in front of the whole saloon. Law knows he's got a thing for heroics. Better than I'd feared. Only had to bury 2 troopers and amputate 5 limbs. I'm thankful every day that the Protectorate can't aim for shit. He kept me clear-headed. Every so often there'd be a lull in the bombardments and I'd hear voices all across the field, calling out for aid, for mama, for death. Almost got my head clean taken off when I tried to scramble out of the foxhole the first night. I heard a call for help and moved on instinct. Damn foolish of me, really. Ortiz told me not to panic, to wait till he could provide cover, to just shout first aid instructions where I could. It was too valuable to fall in battle, he said. It was a rough few nights at first, knowing I couldn't help folk who needed it. And the reward for that torment was my life. I appreciate that, Commander. In any case, I'm only standing here because of a damn fine soldier who became my friend. I'll carry that knowledge always. Fine by me? Not great. It was a mining colony under Spacer's Choice. Didn't have much, but my parents worked hard to ensure we had shelter and a warm meal every day. They're good folk. I love them. But I don't think they ever quite grasped how bad things were before Auntie's Choice came. They warned me not to join up, you know. Said we'd all get burned if we put too much stock in the promises of this foreign corporation. But I'd rather take a risk on them than be resigned to how things were. Maybe. Though what I've seen from Auntie's Choice should put my folks' doubts to rest. Right away, I got the offer to enlist and the bonus paid at signing. Our colony was isolated, which meant our Spacer's Choice overlords could do as they saw fit. Everyone lived in squalor, save for a select few. We were little more than workhorses. Those of us at the bottom only found joy with our families, our friends. But love alone can't get you through the toughest, darkest winters. I miss the sunsets, and my folks, though I know they're well taken care of nowadays. But that's about it. Most of my friends joined up when I did, so we took our community with us. Leaving my hometown itself, it was an eager farewell. Though there is one person I keep thinking of, the grandpa who lived next door, Vincent. He used to draw posters and ads for Spacer's Choice. He had style. Of course, that didn't last. Age caught up and his hands started failing him. Couldn't draw, couldn't lift heavy objects, could hardly walk without exerting himself. And in Tau Ceti, if you couldn't work, you didn't get ration cards. We shared what we could with him, of course, but what we got already wasn't much. Last day I saw him, he refused the half-salt tuna can I tried to give him. Said it was him lending me his strength. He was gone the next day. We searched all over, then realized he must have wandered off into the wilderness, not wanting to be a burden. We never found him. Can't hardly open a tin without thinking about him now. So if you're wondering why I still hold a candle for Auntie's choice, after everything, it's because I know had Auntie arrived just 4 months earlier, Vincent might still be alive. It's been years now since I talked about it. He was a good man. He deserved better. So did the rest of us. Anyhow, ain't meaning to talk your ear off. Fine by me.
Would pulverizing them suffice? No, I could liquefy them, apply heat and congeal them into kibble no beast could resist. Oh, Ethel, darling, you're a genius. Approach with less haste next time, won't you? Copernicus may be tame, but he still doesn't take kindly to being startled. Oh, Inez, you look, well, like you could use an ice bath and a cup of newly formulated trip teas. Has something happened?
Something has, all right. I ended my contract effective immediately. Now I'm free to prove myself to everyone in Auntie's choice. My way.
Well, that's wonderful news. Or is it? I admit I'm still trying to work through what contracts mean hereabouts. But you do appear to be pleased, so I shall be pleased for you. That is not common knowledge in this town. But since Inez appears to trust you, I suppose I can do the same. Before I began my new illustrious career working with our tame, scarily friends here, I was a researcher in the Enhanced Soldier Division. Oh, I was on the verge of breakthrough when they shut us down. Oh, when I think of the lives I could have reached. But in my current role, I do try to help where I can.
Where my own first aid training can't reach, Doc's got me covered. The graft knocked me on my ass for weeks when I first got it. But she nursed me back to health.
Would if I could have done more.
Despite your insinuation, there are plenty of good folk around here, but perhaps not many with Doc's particular skill set.
I understand your reservation, but I do care deeply for all my patients. Inez has attested to it. And so can Copernicus here, when he is freshly fed. Where was I? Right. I have a lead, Inez. I've identified 2 viable beasts on this island that you may be compatible with. Though it may not be easy to acquire the suitable specimens. Unfortunately, the beasts must be subdued. And due to the nature of the specimens we require for the procedure, sadly killed. I might add that these are powerful beasts indeed. The first candidate is the skeleton crabble. It has a rare form of albinism and was last spotted on the western coast by protectorate scientists, who unfortunately went missing. I happened upon an old report of theirs along with a code used to operate their machinery. If their fate is what I suspect, the code may be of use to you.
I heard rumors of the creature myself. Our skeleton sounds a good bit larger than the average crabble. Meaner and smarter, too. It is. Rare, once-in-a-generation divergence in the crabble population. Powerful and frightening? Reckon it'd suit me just fine.
The second candidate is a raptidon matriarch. The only one of her kind on the island, as I understand it. She was last spotted in the crags near the Vox Relay.
Deep in protectorate territory. This matriarch sure ain't making it easy for us. She'll be more aggressive and more cunning than her smaller kin.
This is hardly worth the effort of a response, dear, but I might remind you that raptidons are not native to this land. Now listen close. When you breach the matriarch's lair, you must rouse her from hibernation. I found pheromones to be quite effective. Inez, I'm certain you know a formula that may suffice.
That I do.
Excellent. It'll be a rather unpleasant wake-up call for the matriarch, so she'll be upon you in moments. I suggest your armaments be at the ready. Then the grafting part is yours. I can assure you my research is sound, and I am not at all like the last surgeon who performed on Inez. I take pride in my work. Now, when you acquire one or both of these parts, return here straight away, and we can begin surgery. Law guide you both out there. Oh, I love questions. Ask away. I would never imply such a thing. I'm sure the Minister and Officer Carr have only our best interests at heart. Though I must admit, their continuing quarrels give me trepidation. I'm unused to the way things are done here, I suppose. The Protectorate leadership never behaved in such a manner. The fact is that those two never got along particularly well, even under the best of circumstances. One wishes to woo Protectorate subjects to our ranks. The other wishes to secure a decisive victory with weaponry and technology. As for which approach is best, I wish I knew. I see. I hope his spirits may be sustained. I have grown fond of the Minister, but I cannot help but wonder if he fully understands how proud the Protectorate are. It takes great courage or desperation to acknowledge the wrongs of one's society, and even more to leave it entirely. He may find that courage to be rarer than he thinks, or perhaps he will manage to prove me wrong with his powers of persuasion yet again. Oh, I would welcome it in this case. Very well. I ought to focus more on my work than on social tensions anyhow. I work directly with Officer Carr and her soldiers to ensure they're outfitted with the best Raptidon counterparts Paradise Island can provide. In theory, they'll be trusted to guard our most precious assets, including our leadership. For now, they deter encroachment from wild Raptidons. It's most agreeable. Trust me, they are safer here than out in the wilds. I have been reprimanded thrice now for undue pampering. I would not be here if this experiment was still causing needless suffering.
get the sense you ain't too fond of Auntie's choice. Any reason why?
Maybe on account of them being a giant, malignant corporate entity. Reminds me of the one I grew up under. And that ain't a compliment.
I grew up under a corporation like Auntie's too, Niles. You ain't the only one with a sob story.
Then you might ought to know better than to throw in with Annie's. They're just like those bit-pinching bastards in Triangle. If the Earth Directorate hadn't stepped in.
Well, there you have it. The Earth Directorate saved you, huh? Sure as shit didn't save us.
No, suppose not. But you've got choices now. Time for excuses is past.
Don't you look down your nose at me. Any sane folk would throw their lot in with the ones who help them, not those who deliberately look the other way. How's your own loyalty to the Earth Directorate treated you all this time? I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. See those burrows? The skeleton's nearby. And if it's as nearby as I think, it don't bode well for those scientists. Well, you hate to be proven right. These folk have been dead a while. And that must be the machinery Doc mentioned. Over here, Commander. Huh. Seems this terminal reroutes power to speakers around the cave. They were using sound to lure the Krabbles out. Let's see here. Generator's back on. Power up that phonotron, would you? Should cause enough ruckus to make the skeleton come out and play.
And what am I supposed to do? Just stand around and look pretty?
Well, if the commander's keen to share, you can press the button too. Wouldn't want you feeling left out.
ready to waste them. On your command. Appreciate a little help, Commander.
Was effective. Now we just need the specimen. Mind the pincers. They can be a little feisty even after death. Nice work. Mind bringing it over here so I can take a gander? Muscular reticulation's still intact. Cartilaginous integrity mostly sound. A good clean cut. And the pincer's still sharp. Yeah, this'll do just fine. Shame about all the scientists, though. I was hoping this wouldn't be too steep a price. Well, I sure ain't gonna fry up the claw and serve it with tarmac and cheese. This little hand has been poisoning me for a spell, remember? I'm hoping it'll be a salve, as Doc suspects it might be. But seeing it now, I'd reckon there are some other ways I might use it to my advantage. If you still got some hunting you, that Raptidon matriarch's on the loose. Her den's not far from the Vox Relay up north. Elsewise, we head back to Fairfield and speak to Doc Tinsley. North it is. After you.